I called him. So,
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Can-Am Connection. How you guys doing?
tired.
Morning, everybody. Hope you guys had a good holiday yesterday.
That was only an American holiday.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I still had a good day.
Yep.
Forgot. I forgot because Canada celebrates Thanksgiving in October. I forgot.
What?
Don't you guys celebrate Thanksgiving in October?
Yes.
Yeah, so you got different kind of, months and days for holidays that we share.
You know what the worst part about that is? You know what the Elf on the Shelf is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know the whole book that they sell with that thing? This is a weird story, but the whole thing is that thing appears the day after Thanksgiving and stays till Christmas.
Oh, that's terrible.
It does not specify who's Thanksgiving.
That's like freaking Black Friday. It's like soon,
Months, man. So I made the mistake of putting that stupid thing out the day after Thanksgiving in Canada. I had to move it every day for 3 months.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But I digress. Let's talk about Mac because that just happened.
It did.
Now,
I didn't watch it, so y'all gonna have to. I mean, I saw the results. I saw some clips. I saw the preliminaries. I heard about the main event, but I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to get that pay-per-view. So I'll let you guys speak on it.
well, I will preface my opinion by saying that I did not watch it live. I watched it later. So by the time I watched it, they had cut out all of the stuff that was dead air. So I understand there were some connection issues. By the time I logged in and watched it, it was parts 1, 2, and 3, and there were all that dead stuff was cut out. So I didn't have any complaints about that because I didn't have to sit through it.
I did. I had a bunch.
I had the ability to fast forward. So you go ahead, Nathan. You talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just there was way too much downtime, and then like you'd have the screen cut out and it would buffer, and then cut out and buffer, and then they would, obviously they were smart pausing matches, so kudos to them for actually being smart with that. But you can't have your first event like that and then have all the issues, and then people sit there and blow smoke up your butt saying it was the best thing since sliced bread because I
They were
definitely
saying
don't
that?
agree.
Well, for a first event, I will say this. I thought for a first event, it was expensive. Like normally, I mean, sure, it's $12, $14, whatever it was, if you didn't use the code. That being said, I don't recall anyone coming out of the gate with that kind of price tag.
No, I mean there were some good matches on there. Like, I mean, there were some like seriously one-sided matches as well.
Should I let him in, you guys? Should I let him in? He's sitting there waiting.
I would. Hey,
What's up, dude?
What's up?
like my favorite match of the night was the Heidelberg right-handed match. Like that was a war.
Josh Bellin.
Yeah, that was a great match. Great
Josh
match.
Bellin is a giant of a man, and Rick is huge. So seeing those two guys stand next to each other, I mean, you had
like for me that was by far my like match of the night goes to them. Seeing Jocelyn dominate Heidi the way she did was super impressive, especially coming off pulling 11 matches at a round robin the Saturday prior, and then going to pull the super match against Heidi. Like that just says a lot.
Yeah. So there was some good matches. There were some interesting matches. What did you think of the table?
I hated it.
Okay, why?
Well, first and foremost, that they're like, oh, it hides little hops. No, I could see everything. It didn't hide crap. Let's be honest. I think Ian's obsessed with his days in WAL. I really am. Because, they're trying to do everything WAL style grip, everything straight to the strap, yada, yada, yada. The table's way too big. The pads are too big. Like, it's not good, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, the only way that it hides the elbow fouls is if the referee has his eyes right at table level and cannot see into that dip.
Yep.
I thought that visually, and this is something that could be corrected, a black and dark red table, it all kind of blended together for me. There seemed to be some red lighting.
Yeah, it did
A
the
lot
same
of
thing.
dark colors.
It did the same thing the Knuckles Up pay-per-view did for me as well. Everything kind of just
Right.
got,
So everything
got
was
muddy.
red instead of
Yeah.
everything was purple.
Yeah, it was very muddy.
I'll say this. I did watch some of the preliminaries that was actually on YouTube. So in watching that, my fear, a couple things. One, with all these different leagues and organizations coming out with different rules, you're going to cloud everything up. So what I mean by is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time we come up with a new promotion. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about last week about if everybody had the same weight class all the way across the board. But
yeah,
I feel that if someone were to get used to going to a MAC event, well, the elbow pads are what? Are they 9x9? Is that what it is?
No, they're bigger than that.
They're bigger than that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I made a mistake last week when I said it. It was they're huge. Like
it's like this. It's like a 10 by 12 sheet of paper.
So when you do that, you get used to that kind of stuff, and then let's just say that particular athlete goes to a different event. Now you don't have that anymore. It's the Alan Fisher story when you said, he's used to, getting so aggressive. He pops his elbow. He would foul out all the time at a world championship. Yep. And I remember one year, I can't remember what year it was, but I remember it was when WL was at its height, at its peak performance, and Marshall was used to that rule set. And then that same year in the fall, he went to a Nemiroff. Obviously, this is before COVID. Went to a Nemiroff and fouled out. Okay. Because you don't have that 2 inches on the back. And, you don't have that, that constant, let it roll running foul. And I think it does perplex the a person's thought process when you compete. It messes everything up.
Yeah.
And then you had 2 rule sets there as well. You had the MAC rule set, and then you had Heidi and Jocelyn's match as a CAWF rule set. But it really wasn't because they were using 3 fouls and a different table and everything else. So,
hey, quick 10-second soapbox. Have you noticed my new nickname now that was given to me by Paul Maiden?
Oh, no, I know. I just noticed that.
I can play that 10-second clip for you. That'll be my soapbox of the day. Y'all can, since we got people in the chat now, y'all want to hear it?
I didn't even hear it. Sorry.
Here, I'll play it for you.
You better have it queued up, Jody. It's amateur hour bullshit.
Tim, is that a new arm sport shirt for this year?
It could be.
I'm kind of liking that one. Not gonna lie.
Forgot I was wearing this. Not gonna lie.
Did it play?
No, didn't hear a thing. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it. I don't have the technology.
So I'll just chime in on what you guys are talking about, and I'm all for supporting promoters. But if you think about it, this is a prime example of how many different rule sets are overseas. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Think about that. Like I'm seriously, I'm all for good change and this and that, but think about what you're truly doing here. There's one rule set overseas, and there's a reason why it's so fucking successful over there. It's because they don't try to change what's not fucking broken.
Yeah.
And they don't try to change it for entertainment and this and that. And again, not knocking any promotion. I haven't seen it yet. I spent the weekend in Vegas with my wife. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay for it. I'll watch it. I'll support. I'm just saying, like, there's different ways that we can build this sport than changing pads and changing rules and changing this and changing that and thinking we just changed the world.
I mean, Ryan, we were talking last week about Canadian Nationals is going to have over 1,000 entries, and that's a WF style rule set. Europeans just had over 1,000 entries. That's a WF rule set. So,
well, I said the comment last week, and I said it at our provincials. It said there's a lot of guys that show up, and when they show up and they get refereed by master level referees, they think that those referees are shitty. And it has dawned on me that in a lot of cases, those people do not realize that they do not know the rules of arm wrestling and how to apply them correctly because they're used to a different standard of refereeing.
Welcome to Arizona State.
I mean, they have this a different rule set is what it is, but when you have multiple rule sets at the same event, then it becomes even harder because I believe wasn't there an option to actually start supinated as well?
Why?
There were so many different things there. Like the one thing I liked, and I will say this is the one like kudos I'll give them. If you decided to start outside of the strap and the rule set and you slipped the first time, then every other match after that went to the strap.
I like that.
That I'm completely fine with. Like I have no objections to that. But to have like, well, I want this and I want that or this, it's just like, come on, guys. Like
see
because
that's not changing like the rules of arm wrestling.
Yeah.
That's enhancing the speed.
And you're
I agree. Not really changing much there, right?
Yep.
Like that's again, but you put them on a 20 by 20 fucking pad. I don't know.
Well, it's freedom.
Well, not only that, but like what you guys were talking about, and when you do that kind of stuff, now you give all the power to the athletes. Where what's the fucking point of having a ref now? Oh, sorry, 11 minutes. What's the point of having a referee now if you're going to allow these athletes to say, "Well, I want this, well, I want that." Like Nathan's saying, you start doing that kind of stuff, there's no point of having a referee anymore.
Well, they had Bart Wood, so I mean.
Well, here's the deal. They also had Dave Knox, who is an amazingly talented referee. But I will say this, maybe something got lost in between the event live and the event on our screens because it sounds like the athletes really like that table and possibly rule set. And the referees, I talked to Dave and he said it was one of the easiest referee jobs he's had because of the simplicity of the rule set. But while it's simple, it's also complicated if you're used to something different. Go ahead, Tim.
You want to know why that they love it? It's because they can fucking cheat. It's not real arm wrestling. That's not arm wrestling. That's like saying you went to the Olympics and you're a wrestler, right? But then you're on WWE. One's fucking wrestling, one's fucking not. It's entertainment. It's not real arm wrestling. So go ahead, go learn that way, and never get anywhere. You'll never go to Worlds. You'll never do good at Worlds because you'll fucking foul out every time.
That's why I said.
That's why your path of arm wrestling. What's your path of arm wrestling? Having fun and be able to fuck around and do whatever you want, or go to Worlds and be successful. I don't know. Do what you want.
Which is why I said too. I was glad when I saw Jocelyn and Heidi's match was not underneath that rule set, and it was under the CAWF. It just increased. I mean, obviously the pads, the table was different, and they had an extra foul. But
why would you change the rules for that match but not the other ones?
Because it was a ranking match for the state. Yeah.
See, there's a red flag right there.
Why have it there?
I don't get that. If your rule set will not impact a ranking, then there's something wrong fundamentally with your rule set. They're calling it a different sport in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
that's like different tables now. Like I mean, you can even go further in depth. Like, you have the combat arm sports, the Mazarenkos, the Ezreal tables. Like they're all different.
They meet all the WAF requirements though. Those tables.
Yeah, but the difference, no, they don't, because like if you use like a combat table, the pads are really soft and you can literally plant your elbow and dig it in there. You can't do that on a WAF table.
Well,
on a Mazarenko.
I need to refresh myself on the rules of the pad construction. But
yeah, but I'm saying no, the dimensions are the same. What I'm saying is like construction of pads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because you get used to pulling on a pad where your elbow digs, and then you go to Worlds where your elbow is just going to slide on that pad. Like,
well, I mean, I come from a time when pre-Mazarenko, when his tables came in and were used at WAF, everyone was like, holy shit, these pads are hard. And then that became the standard. I'm not sure if the rule ever changed.
I don't think it did. I like them though. I like the harder pad personally.
Well, I mean, you get used to it and it doesn't hurt you. That was the concern, is that you're going to get hurt on these things. And I'll say, aesthetically, watching that event last weekend, I prefer the raised elbow pad so I can see what's going on a lot better. And it actually created some problems because you had a combination of a solid pad instead of a pin string, and a recessed elbow pad. So there were times when someone was getting pinned and you could, like, the referees missed the call a little bit.
Yeah, a lot.
Do the replay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, I mean, it was I don't know. I mean, if you're going to call it something, don't call it arm wrestling, because it really wasn't. It was entertainment, like Tim said. Like that's what it's built for.
Just like the oh, we're at the 15. Oh yeah, now I can cuss. Just like the fucking tack match. Yeah, speaking of which.
What is this?
Here we go. Jody. It's your moment. I think I got it queued up.
My new nickname.
Can't hear it.
So that's Paul Maiden. He's one of the head guys at Armed Gods. Tim, you know him.
Douchebag.
There you go. He called you the shithouse of America.
Yeah.
That's nice of him.
Because
that's sweet.
He said he used to like me, and then he doesn't no more, and that might be because of the fact that I had some opinions about the tack match they promoted, earlier this year. I said my opinion. I said it's not arm wrestling, and then he said, that they're trying something different. Now they got some, not barbed wire, but some
electric shock.
Yeah, like, okay, this goes back to what Tim was saying. This ain't arm wrestling. And I think, if you're trying to bring in the people from the young people to be in the sport, okay, if you're going to appeal to them and they watch other events and they're not like that, are those young people going to stay and still be a part of this arm wrestling community when they want the car wreck, that kind of stuff? But you know what? I'm over that shit. Let's talk about King of the Table.
Okay, one more thing. Jody, could you imagine, like, if this bullshit nowadays was going on when we started with, like, Herman and Phipps and all those guys? They would straight up just annihilate you for trying to do something so stupid.
Yep.
Like, that's what I revert back to, is like, why are we drifting away from arm wrestling? Everybody, oh, nobody will ever take it serious. We can't get back on TV and this and that. Well, no shit. You look like a bunch of fucking idiots. Why would they want to put you back on TV when it's not real arm wrestling?
I almost made the comment, and I actually did to some people, that I wish arm wrestling went back to being an underground sport because you didn't deal with this nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
I think everyone needs to keep it simple and quit trying to reinvent everything. But there is a definite attitude that the reinvention is needed in order for us to grow. But the fact of the matter is we are growing. And, there's going to be a peak to everything.
People need to stop being so fucking entitled, too, and thinking they're owed something when they haven't done shit.
But we'll kick back and see how long these organizations last.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just look in Canada. There are so many leagues just in Canada. Then you go down to the States and you got a whole bunch more. But I mean, everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and I don't know, man. I don't know if there's it's almost a completely different product with the Mac stuff. So we'll see what their next event does, if there is a next event. And yeah, there was the Arm Gods banners up there, so there must be some kind of partnership going on.
Puppy Love.
Say hi.
Special guest.
Say hi.
Special guest.
He's like, no. I'm tired.
Yeah, so are they in cahoots then?
I'm assuming. I would assume so.
There must be some kind of partnership. Yeah.
Well,
we got two big events this weekend, so
true.
We'll be hitting first.
Well, let's talk King of the Table.
All right.
Let me get my predictions.
Yeah. Let's write that down.
Oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get a pen here. Natty, can you give me a pen, sweetheart?
most likely I'll get the event, but I won't watch it live because I'll be at work. However,
I'll be at Arizona, so yeah.
I'll be at my cabin, so I might get it again and make everyone watch it with me like I did last time. I'm sure they'll be super impressed.
They're gonna be so happy with you.
Does that mean we got to do 2 shows next week then? Because we're going to do the fallback of Arizona State and King of Tables. Does that mean we got to do 2 separate shows?
I think we can cover it in one, right?
We can do it all. We can do it all.
I'm writing everybody's down this time.
Oh, you're writing everyone's down. Okay, well, I'm not going to write mine down.
Yeah, perfect, because I don't have a piece of paper and a pen right now. So
I got everybody. I got everybody covered.
Okay, oh, sweet. Well, let's kick back. Let's go.
You guys want to start or end with the most important match of the night?
Wherever. I think is Schoolboy and Ryan first.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's the first match?
I think so.
Should be the main event.
I think it goes Schoolboy, Ryan, and then Lachlan and the Lachlan match. And then I think it goes there's Georgie and Rivas. I think Vitali and Camila are the main event. No, Machishenko and Mortazov are.
Yeah. I think Schoolboy and Bowen are the most important event on there.
Don't tell RVJ that he'll flip his lid again.
I think he already did.
Oh my God.
Where are we starting? I'm ready.
That's 98%.
Yes.
All right. Schoolboy versus Ryan Bowen. Where do you guys want to go with this one? Because this
Ryan 4-2.
All right.
Okay.
Damn, dude. I was good. Well, shit.
All right.
I'm gonna say Ryan 4-1, being the fact that
they have to pull all 6 rounds.
To pull all 6.
Oh, they gotta pull all 6?
Unless somebody pulls out, but they want you to pull all 6. That's why
I think Schoolboy pull out, honestly. But I'm saying Bowen because
all right, I'll give you.
I think you're on to something, Jody.
I'm giving you 4-2. I'm giving you 4-2 then, Jody.
He's a lot smarter than people give him credit for, and he's starting to grow on me lately with these new, I gotta get this up video and stuff. He's putting the work in, and Schoolboy coming off a loss, I'm not really sure where his head's at,
I mean, the only win Schoolboy's had at any major, I'm calling it major promotion, i.e. King of the Table and East vs. West, is when he pulled Herman, and Herman was like a last-second replacement because he was there with Brita. So,
and that was King of the Table, that was East vs. West 1. Go back and look how East vs. West has evolved now. Go look back at the first one, and you'd be like, "Damn, what is this?" All right, SB, you're up.
Well, I mean, you guys are knocking the wind out of my sails here. I was going to pick Bowen for sure, but
all right,
maybe I'll just be different and I'll say Schoolboy. I don't need to give you a score. I'll just say Schoolboy, even though that's not what I want to say. I'm just trying to be different. Who knows?
Nathan, you didn't go with Schoolboy?
I haven't picked yet.
Oh,
I thought you said Bowen already.
No, I didn't say anything.
I swore you said a while back that there's no chance for Bowen.
No, I didn't say that. I said that people don't give Ryan enough credit because Ryan has some massive wins. He's beat Mosier, which is, I mean, you have to be a pretty good arm wrestler to beat Mosier.
Come on, where's he been lately?
Who's Mosier?
Who?
Yeah,
Bowen retired Mosier.
Never heard of
her. I think if the match stops, Ryan wins. Honestly. But does the match stop?
You see that comment by GB? If it goes to endurance, Schoolboy is screwed. Do you not think Ryan Bowen knows that? He's going to fucking try to bleed him out round 1 and 2?
Yeah,
I'm going to say
Bowen's willing to take a loss just for position and wearing a guy out.
I think it goes 3-3 and we have a 7th round. And in that case, Ryan wins. And Ryan wins.
All right. I'm alone on this one.
Silver bullet off the get-go?
I think so. Damn. I think Schoolboy comes out, hits a quick 2. Ryan gets position in the 3rd one. Schoolboy wins like another one in either the 4th or the 5th, and then Ryan takes it, finishing out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm alone. I got Schoolboy. I'm glad I'm going to beat you guys for sure. Let's talk Paul Lynn, Lachlan Adair.
Ouch.
Paul's pulling up a couple weight classes for this one.
You don't go against Captain America Paul Lynn.
Yeah, watch me. Lachlan wins.
I'm picking Lachlan.
I thought it was a 105 kg match.
I just said, but
it is.
Paul Lynn walks around 228.
Yeah, but he normally pulls at 95.
Yeah, so imagine when he's pulling. Imagine when he's pulling at 228 now, 230.
I'm still going.
That's a different Paul Lynn.
I'm picking Lachlan because I look at his match against David Araboli and how easy Lachlan beat him.
Lachlan just looks incredibly strong right now, and I'm going with him.
Me too.
If, and that's a big if they were to meet at Paul's weight, I'd say Paul. But Lachlan's looking. What's he weighing now?
Well, it's a 232 match, so
he'll weigh 232 for all of about 15 seconds, and he'll probably be closer to 250.
He's looking lean.
He's looking what?
Lachlan's looking lean and in shape.
When did he ever look lean?
You ain't seen him lately.
He does now.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Jody and Tim are taking Paul then.
I guess that's what we're looking at here.
Paul Lynn in the silver bullet, baby. Let's go.
It's not going to silver bullet.
I'm putting Paul Lynn SB. That's what I put on Tim's. Paul Lynn SB.
Let's go UFC.
Jody?
It's hard to go against Chris Evans. I meant Paul Lynn, so.
Oh. I was like, who?
What?
Captain America.
All right. That's everybody.
Let it be known, I love Lockley. He's one of my good friends. But it's USA, baby.
Just in case Lachlan watches this, just so he's not offended.
Cover your tracks.
Rivaz Letidze versus Georgi Zaranov.
We haven't seen Rivas since he broke his finger against Vitaly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Georgie is just ridiculous. Like, you do not win a stamina battle with him at all. I'm picking Georgie.
How is Rivas anyway? I mean, yeah, we haven't seen since the finger thing, but I don't. It's
I
kind of hard.
heard a rumor he's like 170 kg right now.
Yeah. Hey Phil, I think you can do that as one of the admins. Drop some.
Like, he's big.
Like, that's. I think Ingen was saying that because he had Jerry Catter on the show the other day, and I think Ingen was the one that says he's fucking 364 or some shit. And I'm like, that's fucking bigger than Jerry. And I'm like, the bigger people get, makes you wonder how what's in their gas tank.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I go with Georgie. I mean, if you watch any of Georgie's matches, if it stops, you're not going to beat him in an endurance war.
Rivaz is winning. That's my pick.
All right.
Rivaz 4-1, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to say Georgie because it's hard when people sit out for so long. You don't know exactly where they're at. You know what I mean?
Strong.
Yeah, strong, but you just don't know.
Don't you just feel so much stronger when you take some time off? You come back to the table, you do some lifts, you're like,
fresh.
Damn.
You're fresh.
Feel good. Rivaz is going to look big, too.
Nathan, who'd you pick?
I picked Georgie.
Okay.
Well, we're split 2-2. We're split 2-2.
We're all on different pages throughout this whole thing.
The last two matches were 2-2 splits.
I think we're gonna be all. I think we're probably on the same page in this next one, though. Michael Todd versus Lars.
I'm going Michael.
Michael 4-0.
Yeah, Tim. Look.
Lars 5-1, baby. Let's go.
There's no chance that's happening.
I'll take side bets.
I already lost €2. Don't worry. I'm bringing it.
Hey,
right.
Hey, Tim, is that your heart speaking or is that your honest opinion?
That's my honest opinion, man. I got to hang out with Lars the last couple times I was there, and he's only gotten fucking bigger every time.
I saw that video of him yesterday.
Scary.
Did you see that video that Oleg's dropped yesterday of chatting with Lars?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You guys
Yeah.
get
It's
too much time.
scary.
And he doesn't probably have an ounce of fat on this dude's body. He is ripped to the gills.
It's not a
You know
bodybuilding
what?
competition, though.
I know, but he uses every part of his body to pull. That's the best part. And I don't see him losing this match. Just to be
Like
honest,
Michael,
he's big.
like Michael cannot go inside with Lars. Lars will eat him all day.
He's going to flop wrist press Michael, and Michael is going to bleed him out and win.
You know what? I'm going to take Lars.
I'm taking Michael. Are we putting money on this?
Yeah.
I don't want to bet my.
That we just talked about not that long ago. And we said this should have been Michael's comeback match, not
It should.
match versus Frank. And he won the match versus Frank.
I'm betting this much money. Hey, Plexman, you
Yeah, but he didn't look as good as he should have
I'll
looked
take that.
against. You know what I mean? I feel like he's trying. I'm going to go with Lars.
You guys are crazy.
I know.
I'm going Michael. Matter of fact,
Jody, I'll take the €5 bet. I got €5 somewhere in my safe.
Well, you got 2 coming your way, so you got covered half of it.
Yeah.
Lars, you're gonna see.
And Lars is one of those guys that pulls like hardly ever. So
He's a scary human being, though.
I
feel like if I don't pick him, he'll come to my house and eat me.
Who, Lars?
Yeah.
It's like the nicest guy. I got some good inappropriate stories about him.
Here, I'll put you this way, and you guys can shoot me down if you want to. The chat can give me heat. Because what I'm about to say, these two guys pull similar, not exactly, but similar. Against Lars, I would pick Michael all the way. Against Jablonski, I'd hesitate for a second.
You'd hesitate for a second? That's not
Lars can do more than just flop wrist press. Like Lars is capable of doing anything.
Are you telling me, Jody, that if Michael Todd went against Kamil Jablonski, you'd think about picking Michael?
No, I'd hesitate. It wouldn't be a sure thing for Michael.
Oh my God, I don't think it's a sure. I think it is a sure thing.
Jody, where you putting that coffee after work?
What's that?
What's in that coffee?
Yeah,
Sugar?
I think I think I would 100% pick Camille in that match.
I would bet my house on that match.
I would call the promoter an idiot for putting that match on.
That's why I said I wouldn't.
You are very loyal, Jody. You are very loyal.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Michael's not even in that weight class anymore.
Yeah.
Michael can't go. I don't think Michael needs to go to that weight class anymore.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Can we, before we go on, okay, how about this? We shouldn't have to have our North American guys who don't really weigh that much force themselves to get to that weight class.
Nobody's forcing him to get to that weight class.
No,
He's choosing to go to that weight
force
class
themselves, meaning that, okay, let the big guys who are naturally big, like a Chafee, like a Jerry, Corey West.
I don't even think Chafee should be in the supers. Chafee should be in the 115.
That class, as a pro level, that class should be somewhere like 265. You know,
like UFC.
Like UFC, yeah.
I think Chafee should be in the 42s. He could make it.
42 is a weird class for like an elite.
Or if you say East versus West class 115, so 253. That's where I would.
I was gonna say I would like that, like 253, 115 for Chafee.
Chafee, yeah, I agree. I think he's scary there for sure.
Pavlo.
All right.
Ungerbayev.
We got Ungerbayev versus Petrenko.
I will say, if this match was left-handed, it would be 6-0 Petrenko.
I would say, what hand is it? Right-handed?
It's right. And the reason I say that is Petrenko, out of everybody that he has pulled left-handed, Petrenko is the only person that's gave the Kazakh a match left-handed.
I would have, but they didn't call me.
Yeah.
5-1 under Ungerbayev.
That's my pick too.
Hey, Jeff Frank, I forgot to answer your question, but let me know if you're still in the chat.
Jeff Frank's in the chat?
Who's going Ungerbayev? I'm going Ungerbayev too.
All of us?
All in favor.
Like I said, if it was left-handed, it would be Petrenko all day. No questions asked.
Joey's
And boy, am I excited about these next two.
How many matches are
Leftorium.
7.
Jesus.
They're getting bigger
Vitaly
and bigger.
Lekin versus Kamil Jablonski.
This is Vitaly's better arm too.
I don't even know, guys.
And Camille's. And Camille's.
I'm taking Kamil. I have absolute faith that you will see that guy rise and be king within the next 2 years.
No, he won't, because we have too many people that are good in the hook there.
King.
Is this left hand?
It's left-handed.
Jesus, man, because I'm telling you right now, remember, it's always been a flavor of the month. Remember when Morozov came on the scene, it was just smacking everybody left hand, and now he's the guy. Now all of a sudden, here comes Jablonski. I think, until we see a Morozov versus Jablonski left hand,
You're not even. If you put him against Machuchenko left hand, and Machuchenko kills Camille all day. No ifs, ands, or buts.
There's that three-headed monster that we need to eliminate some people, because
I don't agree with that.
Those are your top 3 lefties, in my opinion, right now.
Well, no, you have what's his name from Kazakhstan? I cannot think of his name at the moment.
No, I don't think so. Stax is asking me how did he feel when you practice pulled him slowly? Goddamn scary. That's how he feels. When he pulls into his press, it feels like there's nothing that you can do. Cody Merritt experienced that. Devin Laird experienced that. There's nothing. It's like there's no way around it. And a top roller will never beat Kamil Jablonski again, I don't think.
Well, I mean, I think if you put him against somebody like a Prudnik, who is so fast, you put him against a Machuchenko, who's so fast.
I just think.
Who else? The guy from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his name?
I know you're talking about.
He's so fast. I just think he loses to those 3 guys, and possibly Morozov as well.
No, I mean, when I was top rolling with Camille, he felt, maybe somebody could do something with him.
Be right back.
But the problem is, he can stop that pretty easy.
It all depends if Vitaly can use his height.
Jay, I don't agree with you. Like, Tobias nearly beat Camille, and he's significantly worse than Vitaly. Man, when Sperong pulled him, he got away with a fair amount of stuff, but also making progress too. I think you're going to see Jablonski take the whole. He's going to take this. What do you guys think?
Are you saying 4-0 sweep?
Probably 4-1. I think probably there's a way to get a 1 in there.
Vitaly and the Silver Bullet on the wall.
I'm going Jablonski. He's just got. There is a thing about momentum.
What's Michael Vick doing over there in Texas?
They had a tornado, so they're ironing some things out over there. Oh, here comes Arm Gods. Hey,
hear a bunch of dog fighting.
Hey, look who's in the chat, Ryan.
Arm Gods is full of shit. Like he's saying, a punch through top roller. No, man.
No,
it's gonna have to be a hook roller.
Can we just tell Arm Gods that thanks to Paul may not have a new nickname, as you can see on there, Jody Shithouse Williams, because apparently I'm like the enemy of Arm Gods now. So
nope. Okay.
So who's everybody's pick?
No comment. I got Vitaly in the Silver Bullet.
That should be your new pose on a t-shirt.
I'm leaning towards Vitaly as well, because Vitaly's left arm is his better arm, so I'm going Vitaly.
It's going off of what Tobias did to Camille.
Yeah, no. Never mind that.
Okay.
Camille wins that match 4-0.
Okay.
4-1. 4-1.
All right.
So we got 2 and 2. We're split again.
We're split on every match except thus far the Ryan and Schoolboy match.
Do you know what Camille reminds me of? He reminds me of that guy in the movie Grown Ups when he goes, "I'm from Saskatchewan, eh?" Because that's how he talks.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't
like he's walking over like this to come to the press conference, and I'm like, "Hey, what up, Camille?" He's like, Hey, what's up, guys?
It's terrible.
I train with a guy that looks exactly like Camille, but a much smaller version.
Terrible.
Both the exact same way too. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Poor.
Camille,
That's
Saskatchewan.
horrible.
No,
Jablonski.
you won't be laughing when he dominates Vitali this Saturday.
I won't be able to watch it till I get home from work, so that just sucks for me. So it's all right. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm gonna be in the back room watching it.
What?
I'm working graveyard that night, so I think I will. Go ahead.
Yeah, now I know what I'll be doing.
We're posting our first comment of the show.
His style is the way forward. Yeah, I don't agree with
This
that.
style. The style I explained is the way forward, which is a punch through top roll. I don't think so, man. You're punching right through his shoulder. It's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
Cosmic. Oh.
Hey, send him a link, Ryan, so he can come on.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll see you guys later.
Let's get through her.
All right, we only got one match left. Machuchenko.
Let's see what kind of bullshit we drum up here. Matyushenko versus Morozov. I know which way I'm going already. What do you guys think?
How you put Ivan here?
Machuchenko.
Yeah.
You guys think that the Terminator is getting unseated by Matyushenko?
I think so. I think this might be the one where it's like,
I think it's a good match. I think it's a very good match. I think Matyushenko has to end it fast. I don't think he can get into a war with him. I just don't think he has the gas tank for it. If he finishes it fast, yeah, I think it's Machu. I mean, he's going to get to a spot. Like, there's nobody. I've seen one person really keep him from his spot left-handed, and that's Vitali, because Vitali's so long.
Morozov 5-1.
Morozov 5-1.
All right.
I think Morozov wins it. I don't know what the score is going to be. I'll take Morozov for sure.
Man, yeah, it's a hard match for me to predict because I can see it going both ways. And I mean,
hey, I posted the link, Paul. You're not taking us up on it here.
I'm taking Matyushenko.
Probably not going to understand what he says, anyways.
Yeah, Matyushenko. I think he gets 4 quick pins.
No,
he just goes that way.
Not happening. So Jody took
Matyushenko
as well.
Yep.
Him and I took Morozov.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a very interesting next week when we look at all this and tally this up.
You know what the difference probably is going to be? The difference is going to be that Schoolboy will win, and that will.
Come on, Michael Vick.
Come here.
My dog's fine over here.
Come here.
Mine are sleeping right here next to me.
Mine's sleeping right here. What the fuck?
That's somebody ringing the doorbell.
I
think we
got. Says either way, it'll be a foul fest.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Carter. No worries, Bob.
All right, I think we
all
got
right.
Team Talmadge and SB versus Williams and Williamson.
Yeah, Williamson. What the hell?
I think you guys are going down.
Right there in the chat.
What I missed?
Yeah, that's
It's pretty much me and Ryan picked everything the same.
See, it's that guy barking. Gage, come here.
Yeah.
Sit. It's that guy barking.
Armgods is coming on here to talk about why he thinks Camille Jablonski is not the
That's the first line of defense if somebody breaks in my house. So.
There you go.
You're saying Paul's going to come on?
I think so. Yeah.
Who's he beat to explain this?
Oh, we've got to go back in time here. Paul's got some accomplishments.
I think his last win was against Evan Burgoyne. That says a lot, right?
Well, he didn't win the fight. Anyway, let's see what's up. Let's talk about Arizona State for a few minutes.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Hey,
You'll
I
be
think
there?
I think I'll be there.
Jay Clean says he'll super chat $20 if Camille wins 4-0 or 4-1. I'm putting it on the screen so we have it.
I'm writing that down. Jay Clean.
Done deal. Looks like we
got it.
And welcome back, Jay Clean. Jesus, you've been missing the show more than you've been on it.
So we have how many super matches Friday night, Tim?
3.
I thought you said there was a surprise one.
Surprises, but right now it's 3.
All right, well 3. So we have Don Underwood
versus
Mega
Joe
Mike.
Meek.
Yeah, Mega Mike.
Mega Mike versus Don Underwood.
No. Mega Mike versus Nathan. Don versus
Giannis,
Joe Meek. Giannis versus Austin Tevis.
Left-handed.
Hey, did Joe Meek move to Arizona?
Not yet.
Okay, because he's an Oregon boy.
Yeah, he's still down in Oregon.
Mega Mike.
Are we taking bets on those too? Are we making predictions on those? We might as well.
What's the first one?
Joe Meek versus Don Underwood.
I'm picking Joe because Don won't keep his elbow down.
You think he fouls out of the whole thing? What is it the best of?
5.
I'm picking Joe because Don's going to foul out. Sorry, Don.
I'll take Don.
I was going to say, Tim, you can't pick. You're the promoter.
I'm not picking. Jody's just deciding factor on that.
Tim's a scratch. You're picking Joe?
This might be Joe's coming out party.
Okay. Then we got Mega Mike and Nate McCallan. I think Mike kind of walks through him personally.
What I saw in person when Nathan pulled Paul Passmore might be a repeat of him versus nothing against Nathan, nothing against him, but I was just like, wow, you know.
So you're picking Mike, right?
Yeah. Well, I saw Mike just blast through Wayne Withers the way he did, you know. So, oh yes, here we go.
Ryan, who's your pick?
Mega Mike.
All right, and then Giannis and Austin.
Jesus, Paul, what time is it over there?
I'm going Giannis.
10 to 6, man. Been a long day.
God, he's loud.
Got my headphones on. Is it too loud?
Yes.
Right, hang on then. Let's try to take these off here.
That's about the same, but whatever.
Jody,
Right, go on then. Is that better?
Jody, who you got? Giannis or Austin?
Giannis.
Giannis or who?
Austin Tevis. Austin is, I think,
left-handed.
he's number 3. I think he's 3 in North America. 2? 2 or 3, okay.
It's Giannis.
Welcome to the show, Paul.
Well, we had no changes from that one, so.
Right, cheers, Jody. I like the new nickname, by the way.
I should be thanking you because apparently I'm still an Arm God's hater. So
No one's ever said you're an Arm God's hater, Jody. Just said you're a shithouse.
SA did.
Paul, I got to ask.
Oh, he's a bad man. He's a very bad man. That's not me. So, Ryan, here's one for you. Can you hear me okay, though? Because it's really low on this side.
Oh, we hear you. I hear you plenty.
We can hear you.
Oh, yeah, no, you've always got something to say, you, Nathan. Anyway, so, yeah, you can get one if you want one. I mean,
okay.
You don't speak the Queen's English anyway, do you? Right then, so I've done a lot of trading with Camille. He was obviously lived at UK for quite some time, and he's always been a pressing type geezer. Now, what people are not understanding, for me personally, obviously he's getting astronomically strong, but there's a couple of ways through Camille. One is the way we saw Masachento go through him, which was literally just take him outside of his bone line from the start, and you've got to be electric fast to do it. That's granted. But also, what he wasn't showing was his footwork under the table, how he positions himself to do it. Now, you've got to take, if you're pulling right-handed, let's just, for easy sake, you've got to come through and around with your legs and almost pivot off your elbow around till you line his arm up. If you give him any angle on that shoulder, which a lot of people do with Camille, or any angle at all in this direction, it's good night Vienna. If you don't give him that, he's half the man. And I know that through training with him. Fair enough, he's way past my level now. But we're not talking about me doing this to him now. We're talking about the other elite arm wrestlers. Now, as far as a punch through top roll is concerned, we're not on about something like this or back pressure. We're talking about setting your angle sort of like this and punching through with a flat wrist, not a bent wrist, a flat wrist with a meaty part of your thumb, pushing through with your rotation at 11 p.m. If you can punch off by rolling up off your skin, I promise you now, that shoulder of ease will be here. It'll come outside of his shoulder, and that's where you get Camille, and you can beat him comfortably. And when the big guys start doing that, Camille will start having a bad time again.
Well, I mean, it's you can do it the same way Hermes did it to Jerry. You can do it the way Matyushenko did it to him. I think if you put anybody except Vitaly, I mean, I still pick Vitaly to win, but you take any of the top left-handed arm wrestlers right now, I think all of them, but maybe one or two, beat Camille pretty comfortably.
Yeah, if you're a back pressure top roller, you're in serious trouble. Because if you think about it, when you're pulling backwards in this direction, he's coming through you. And generally, when you pull back, you're going to be outside your shoulder, and always he's going to be isolating your. He's always going to be isolating your hammer muscle. Now, you can't allow people to isolate your hammer muscle. You have to punch through. The day of the back pressure top roll, in my opinion, is on its way out. The way is to punch forward and meet up with up pressure as they're coming down. Now, you'd think that you can't beat them when they're coming down with down pressure, but you can, because it's about manipulating it by keeping your wrist flat. And Pascal Gerard was a master of this movement. And if you go back through time, 2007, you'll see him in a match with Prudnik for about 7 minutes. And this was a Pascal Gerard movement. And he was nothing special, yeah? Pascal was obviously 7, 8 times world number 2, but he wasn't a physical specimen in strength or power. It was purely technique-based. And I guarantee you that is the way to beat anyone who's coming through you with that big press.
Well, I mean, or you just hook them because you're strong enough.
Sorry, Ryan. Say that again.
I said, or you just hook them because you.
Well, yeah. We're talking about being a top roller. I mean, if we're speaking about hooking them, it all depends how you're going to hook them. I mean, because if you're going to shoulder commit and you're going to supinate slightly as well, when that big shoulder comes through from a bigger height, he's going to come crashing through and still turn you on your bicep. So what you've got to do, in my opinion,
I'm looking at the super heavyweight division right now as a whole, and right now, out of the top 5, there's only one top roller. There's one, and that's Vitaly. Everybody else is a hooker, and that's why I don't see Camille.
Well, where would you put Gasparini in there?
Left-handed?
Yeah,
not in the top 5.
Would you not? I mean, do you not think that Alizan fellow, he's just super special?
Yeah, I think your current top 5 right now are obviously Artem Morozov.
Yeah.
I would put Vitaly Letin second.
Yeah.
Alijan third. Matyushenko 4th, and then Camille 5th. And I think the only person that Camille has a realistic shot at beating out of those 4 is Vitaly Letin. The others just walk through him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even think if you put him against somebody like Prudnik, if you put Camille against somebody like Prudnik, I think Prudnik beats him.
You guys are crazy, man.
I don't know. I have a tough time with Prudnik beating him because I think the Prudnik are top 8 possibly, but I don't know. I don't know about the Prudnik of what we have now, especially with him being genuinely off juice now and stuff. Does he have the size? Yeah, I mean that what's it called, Alizan, right? What it is who beat Gasparini? Let's talk about him. Did you see a way that Gasparini possibly could have been in that match at any point?
Nope.
Do you see where people beat him or where they don't beat him?
He had no chance in that match. Alijan was too dominant everywhere.
Do you not think Gasparini was pulling in every perfect position, almost giving away his hand to?
Oh, we lost him.
No, he gone.
Maybe he will be back. Now I can say, now that he's not here, that I agree that technique might be effective. I just don't think anybody is good enough at it to beat Camille with it.
I also don't think you can be a super. I don't think you can be as tall as Vitaly is and do it because he's always having to be in this position. You know what I mean?
Unless
Yeah.
he hammers
well,
down.
Yeah.
Vitaly's a different guy because he's gonna drop wrist, so he's gonna come like this. So that gives you a perfect opportunity with the drop wristers. It gives you two opportunities. If someone's dropping a wrist, one, you'd be a fool to try and hook them because, especially if you've got a smaller hand and you can't really come round. And two, they give you so much access to wrist curl through your top two fingers. But if you imagine someone's there, where's the weakest part of that wrist? If you start attacking the bottom end of the wrist, like most hookers or people would, right, and someone's in this position, it's further down the lever, yeah? So the lower my wrist, the lever, it's tougher to turn. If you come further up the hand where the top index knuckle is, and use your top two fingers to wrist curl directly down on someone like Vitaly, so you're turning him this way, then that's the way to sort these drop wrist top rollers out, like Yanis Almalin's. You know, he's a master. He's like one of the best ever lived at 75s. But he always give his wrist away, and no one ever adopted it. Like Dobrin was the same guy. Tom Holland pulled him about 5-6 years ago at one of the Iron Wars events, and Dobrin was just bashing everyone with a drop wrist.
Didn't Tobias try that?
Tom Holland, they were losing 2-0 at the time. I said, punch through, punch a high, wrist curl for your top two fingers. Make sure when you wrist curl that the back of your hands to the ceiling, which means if your hands are back of the ceiling, that you're wrist curling with your top two fingers. Okay, if you're wrist curling with your lower fingers, which most people do, that turns your wrist to your opponent that way, and it doesn't give you the same aspect of training. I mean, that's something that you'd attack people like Vitaly Latin. If you chase him, you're in serious trouble. The problem is when he's, like you're talking about the Camille match, when he's doing this, or no matter where he's doing, as long as he's pulling back, he's giving Camille access to that super strong shoulder, that super strong press. You have to take Camille off his shoulder, and for me, you've got to punch through his shoulder. And I beat him in a super match just a few years ago, and I beat him 5-1, doing the exact same stuff. He got the shoulder on, it's good night Vienna. But if you move him and you set him up, because let's be honest, arm wrestling is not as simple as just grabbing hold of each other and pulling back. It's not just like setting there in a stone and thinking, oh, I'll pull back pressure, he pulls back pressure. And if he can move 51 kilo, then he beats me, right? And I can only do 49. That's a lot of bollocks. You've got to start thinking outside of the box with these guys. And when someone pulls back, you know they're definitely coming back. Why would you try and fight them with back pressure and break apart? It makes no sense. You've wasted a 1 rep maximum. So what do? You think, well, if he's pulling back pressure, generally a top roller pulls back, but as it gets tougher, he pulls under with his lat because that becomes a dominant muscle, lowering leverage. So if I know he's going to be doing this, then I want to be doing this. And by rising and wrist curling, it gives you top position. You know, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to, win that match from there, but at least you're giving yourself every opportunity to do so. Do you understand?
I mean, I think it's easier if you have a shorter arm than Vitaly does in order to do the move you're talking about. I think Vitaly is too tall and has too long an arm, and even that's not even a physical option.
Well, I think it depends how far deep he sets his hand. I mean, just because you've got a big long lanky arm doesn't mean you always have to sacrifice your leverage and you have to win the match in two parts, i.e. meaning hammer curl and then drag. But you have to be brave as a top roller sometimes, and you've got to push through, even though it's uncomfortable and you're giving wrist to wrist with your opponent by pushing so far through more than you normally would do and gripping low, push through, then you can get your knuckles to the ceiling, even if you've got a big, long, lanky arm. Now, yeah, you're giving access to your wrist, but generally, on a rule, by doing so, you're protecting your hand because you've got your knuckles to the ceiling. Whereas if you've got your knuckles facing your opponent, then that's when your fingers could be attacked. They can't be attacked if they're there. They can't be attacked here. And when you go forward, if someone tries to come in on a press, if you do mistime it, generally, it falls into a cobra wrist where you've got protection of your elbow joint. So you're actually resting on your joint as well because your snake's under in this position. And that way, then, you're protecting what you've got, and it gives you an option. And then if Camille goes to the pad and just sees the pad and doesn't get quite through, he separates his own shoulder and you're still cobraed up. using your own joints as protection.
The way I see
they're all
Vitaly
options.
winning this match, the way I see Vitaly winning this match is he's going to set in his typical low hand position, and he's going to do to Camille what Hermes did to Jerry. Set a little bit lower, come this way first, and then down through. Take Camille from this way to this way.
Yeah, you've got to spin him 100%. Yeah, but
I honestly think
he needs to spin him.
I think Vitaly has.
I
think Vitaly's hand is his biggest asset in this match because he can get Camille in this position.
I think we're talking about a non-main event way too fucking long.
I think it comes down to where the match stops. What position is each athlete in when the match stops? If the match stops and Camille's like that, he can sit here forever. Whereas if Vitaly's like that, how much can you really?
Vitaly had an 11+ minute match at Europeans or Worlds 1 year in that position.
Yeah, but who was he pulling for that match for that long now?
Kazaki, it was Alexander. I was there. 2014. Yeah. It was.
It was literally an 11+ minute match in a top roll versus floppers press.
Does he have the strength? Did that opponent have enough strength that Camille possesses, though?
Well, this was also at, I think, 100 kilos.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it was, Yeah, I was at same class, and he threw me around like a small child. He's immense then. I mean, Vitaly's obviously, he's a fucking animal. He's an animal, but whether he possesses the technical stuff to beat Camille, we don't know. He was one thing for certain. He has to move him off, and you've got to set that up. And it's like anything else, like a boxer, and he's setting up a punch or a jab or whatever he's doing. You have to set him up. It's all about the legs as well. You've got to swing yourself outside that table. You've got to make your center of gravity on the edge of his shoulder and take him outside of that bone line. I mean, Svetan Gachevsky was an absolute master of that back in the day. He was a king of the bone line. And if you ever got to watch his leg position pre-2003, then you'd see that everything about him was completely commanding the left-hand side of the table. Babayev was very similar. They all commanded that centre side. They all aimed not necessarily to pin you, but to move you just a couple of inches. And that were a lot of people's games back in the day. Neil Pickup was a master of that. I mean, because Neil wasn't blessed with massive strength and big hands. He was just a master of moving the position, getting people to a 2-3 inches. John Bazink, exactly the same. If you see him when he beat Babayev in Zloty or Zoliev, he couldn't top roll him off the go. He didn't even attempt to use the back pressure because he would have took him off his rotator. He just got a little bit control there with a knuckle, like an eye up, and pulled a little bit to the side, and then he was able to rotate through his thumb. But each and every time, he kept the shoulder of his opponent from centre. The times that he did let people in, that's when he struggled. Do you know what I mean? It's all about keeping that shoulder flat.
Yeah. Paul, when are we going to see the electric shock match?
Oh, the table's being built, so we're looking about August. We've got a Triple Crown coming in the UK, so we're probably going to test it out in August and then hopefully bring it to Winter Blast because we've got the 9-8. Yeah, we've got a big event going there. 9-8
you should bring Marcus over.
West.
You should bring Marcus over to that Winter Blast and let me pull Marcus.
I think you might beat him.
Just bring him over. Let us pull.
Well, he's not an arm wrestler. Maybe he'll play judo with you.
That's fine.
Judo as well.
You can do that. You can sort that out with Marcus. No problem.
Yeah, tell him over.
Yeah, well, he probably will pull you because he's got a big pair of bollocks. But I suppose we have to step you down a few levels because David Bradford dry bummed you. So.
If that's how you see it, that's fine.
Well, obviously he did, yeah. He dry bummed you, so that's the end of that. But it would be nice to see you again. I've heard you got a big event coming soon, haven't you?
This weekend.
Yeah. Who have you got over? Have you got Yanis over in that again?
Giannis, Tom's, Raymond's, all the Swedens, all the Australians.
Which Aussies are coming?
Mario, Lockley Carpenter, and then their 76 champion, 76 national champion. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Lachlan Carpenter does because he's a beast. He's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a strong bastard, him. Yeah, so answer to you, Ryan. So in Winter Blast, we've got confirmed now is Corey West versus Mindaugas Dulskas, right-handed.
That's a good match.
RVJ versus Playman Dimitrov, right-handed, 95 kilo.
Okay.
Tom Holland,
can't
Craig.
make 95 kilo.
Well, he's promising he can, so we'll see. He has to if it's really going to be a world belt. So then we've got Tom Holland, Craig Toulier. We've got David Bradford, Paul Talbot left. We're going to bring Big Dean Bolt over or James Stewart, Ryan. I mean, you never know. You might bring your left out of retirement.
Dean. I like Dean.
You know, because we're going to be doing it's more of an Americas, so the feel of it is like the Independence Cup. So between the Yanks and the Brits, we're going to have the Independence belts. Obviously, we've got a good relationship with Canadians as well, so obviously we want to keep that going. So I think Porkley Chop will be over. BLM will be a guest of ours because I don't know his arm's healing. I don't think it'll be ready by then. Hopefully it will, but you know we never know. We could use lefty. And we'll have Matt Smith over there. He's already got a golden ticket that we're paying for his flight and hotel due to the fact that he was in that screaming match. We've got loads of others. I mean, we're looking at getting Mercier and Jordan maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got loads of different options, and it'll be more like a Ryder Cup thing, like Ryder Cup versus the Americas. I think that's the way we're going to try and push it.
Good theme. Good theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you know everyone has their own way. I mean, everyone has their own way of doing things, and obviously, granted, you know, everyone's not going to love us, and I appreciate that. With some people's favourites, with some people's not, and that's just how it is. But I had this conversation with Neil last weekend, and I said to him, listen, end of the day, Neil, we are what we are. We're completely different, and we feel we have to be different than everybody else, because if you don't, then we're just going to fall into the same category, and we're going to be way down the list. Because let's be honest, no one's challenging East versus West, king of the table, really, of what they do. Yeah, they've got the money, they've got everything else, they've got the pullers, they're all tied up, we're all struggling if we want to compete. So you've got to think outside the box. So when you think outside the box, yeah, there might be outlandish ideas and different things. But if you don't do that, then you're just going to get left behind. And rightly or wrongly, the direction that we're going, it's rather going to work or it's not. Now, I'm a massive believer that it is. I mean, we're 18 months in now of Arm Gods. We've had 3 amazing events, not counting the ones that we have at home. We're picking up good followers. We've got a lot of people in the chats who enjoy us. We're getting live show last night. We had 115 on. You know, we're always getting 70, 80 people on constantly. We can't be doing that bad. We're doing okay. Now, obviously, I'm the character I am. Yeah, it is what it is. But it doesn't suit everyone. Like, it doesn't suit everyone to be the same. And one thing we all have in common is we all have the love of arm wrestling, whether you're a purist or you're not. Now, I am an arm wrestler. Ryan, you've known me a long time. Known me a long time anyway. I'm an arm wrestling purist. I love purist arm wrestling. But I'm not that much of a dinosaur. I understand that what we have is it needs to change. Like, you've been around forever, Ryan, so you know that arm wrestling's not really got anywhere. Like, most arm wrestlers are still working, bar a few. Like, we went on ESPN a few times. We've never stayed there. We've been on game shows. It's never happened. It's never continued. Nothing ever continues. And there's got to be a reason for that. And I believe it's like there's no real fans in arm wrestling. Like, East versus West fans are arm wrestling fans. King of the Table fans are fans. What we have is people coming, like, to watch it because it's a night of entertainment. No matter what you think about us, it's a night of entertainment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you come, you have your music, you have a dance, you have a beer, whatever. No, it might not be your cup of tea, but it's getting people out at Corner Street, number 25, number 36, number 72. They're all coming to watch arm wrestling. They're not coming to, like, watch a top roll and a guy speak about arm wrestling. They're coming to watch it, have the atmosphere, have the fun, the violin, the beers, the dance, you know. Go on.
So let me ask you a question. And this is where I think a lot of people who are Arm Gods fans take my comments, twist them, and run with them. So let me go ahead and speak to SA. I never said Arm Gods was a horrible event. I just said the thumbtack match was not okay. Now, with that being said, are you okay with the last 2 Valhalla press conferences, some shit broke out. Is that what you're expecting every press conference? Because you even said that was not okay.
Okay. No, I spoke with John, spoke with Evan. I wasn't happy about it, no. Personally, I wasn't happy about that one, right? Because that one, it is what it was, and John spent 6 hours in hospital. And see, how can I put this now? So, will there be more trouble at press conferences? Possibly. Will there be? I don't know. And then the reason is this. When you put people in a pressure cooker like we do, and you build something, then things will happen, whether it be natural or planned or whatever they do. That's their issue. But things go off. Like if you watch boxing or wrestling, like, or karate or UFC or whatever sport you want, sometimes it's a nice press conference, what most people like. And then other times you get Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury, picking tables up and throwing them. And the world goes crazy saying, oh, you put boxing into distribute, whatever. But then what you find is more people watch it than ever before. So how much harm is it actually doing? Yeah, for the purist of the sport, it's not necessarily what you want to see. But for the gamer at home, like the thumbtack match, yeah, will we probably do another? Probably, maybe ever, never. But you know what? We're the first people in history to do it. They're going to be in a museum in 500 years' time, and and everyone speaks of it as arm gods. We might never do another, but it doesn't matter because we've done it, we've tried it, and whether it works or it doesn't, we're brave enough to push forward and look outside the box. Now, you may think, well, what does that person come to? Does it go to Ryan, you, Tim? No, it doesn't. But the kid at home who wouldn't think twice about arm wrestling playing on his games, the John at number 76 who likes UFC or likes a bit of something different or X Games or something's fucking paintballing or something like that, them sort of people might find it fun. They might like it. And they might get drawn into arm wrestling. But it doesn't suit you three or me really, because we're purists. But we're not trying to attract you three. We're trying to attract 3 people who don't know about arm wrestling. And unfortunately, the world is macabre now. That's the way of the world. People play games and kill each other online all the time. They want to do fucking slap fighting. They want to do fucking all sorts of crap.
Tim?
So, realistically...
Well, hey, hold on. So, I got a question, though, about what you just said. You're not trying to attract arm wrestlers. You're trying to attract 3 more people to watch it, but they're not watching fucking arm wrestling. Why don't you just watch WWE?
So the idea is, Tim. So the idea, Tim, would be this, right? The idea would be this. So if we get 3 people into arm wrestling to watch a tag match or an electrocution match, right? They might see next video and come on and jump on and watch the real arm wrestling match. They might see Conor Sale and Matt Smith. And then when they see that match, then they might be hooked on arm wrestling. Whereas they might watch that first and they might not even they might not think twice about watching it. So what would you click on as a non-arm wrestler? Would you click on a thumbtack, a pad full of tacks? Or would you click on Conor Sale going, yes? What would you click on as a non-arm wrestler?
Oh, yeah. If you're a non-arm wrestler, you want to see, we live in a day and age where you want to see the car wreck. So, if you're trying to focus on the ages of 18 to 27 years old, then that thumbtack match would be it. My question would be, if those guys think this is arm wrestling and they go to watch an East vs. West or a King of Table and they don't see that, are those guys actually staying now? Because it's like, wait a minute. I thought arm wrestling was about thumbtack matches and I don't see it in this federation or that league. Why am I even staying? I mean, it's just...
well, then they're going to stay with us. Like, look at darts. Darts was in a ballroom. Darts was in a conservative club, a Catholic club, whatever. And it had 20 people watching it, drinking whatever, yeah? That's the thing. That's what you have to look at if you're going to look properly. We've just been having a conversation behind closed doors, boys, showing each other's dicks or what?
Yeah, it just kicked me out when I was talking. I don't know. I don't even know what you were responding was.
You're a little fucking housewife. Let's try and trip him up. You'll never trip me up. You're not clever enough, Tim. So
there's no fucking
fly.
I heard everything.
There's no flies on me, Timothy. There's no flies on me, my son.
I had to take care of some pressing issues.
I'm really curious to think how you're helping arm wrestling and not killing arm wrestling.
Oh well, you tell me. You tell me how I've killed arm wrestling. Go on.
I thought that was fucking horrible.
Yeah, okay. That's your opinion, and you're welcome to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you an arm wrestling purist?
Yeah, I mean it's arm wrestling. You're trying to grow the sport.
So how did it kill arm wrestling? For the 12,000 people or 14,000 people that watched it, how's it killed arm wrestling?
I'm saying you're trying.
Hang on 1 second, bud. Has it affected your attendance at your tournament? No. Did it affect Winter Blast? No. Has it affected Ryan and Jodie's channels or wrestling? No. Has it affected Arm Wars? No. King of the Table? East versus West? No. Has it brought me and Marcus and the rest of the Arm Gods Army more viewers each and every week? Like for 2,000 subscribers, we've got a lot of people watching. Yeah. Has it brought us controversy? Yeah. Has it brought us memberships? Yeah. Has it got the UK buzzing? Has it got people messaging us indifferent and not? Has it got people speaking about it? Yeah, it's done all those things. So if like all news is good news, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be great all the time. And we're open to criticism. Like, I mean, fucking hell, I bet I've still got bats in these shoes I have. Like, you'll never believe it. But look, in this one shoe alone, look, these are my shoes, look.
I see what you're saying, Paul. And I think I see both your point and Tim's point. I think, because I'm a purist too. And I think what you guys are missing is the fact that when you ask Tim, and I'll speak for Tim's behalf, sorry, Tim, when you asked him, are you a purist? We are. No one said anything about the previous matches leading up to the Thumbtack match. Those were awesome. And I think people choose to ignore that portion of it and just focus more on the Thumbtack. Because I haven't agree with. But I said all the matches preceding that were awesome. But for somehow that comment that I said and the comment that Tim's talking about, those matches that were awesome, for some reason, everybody either sweeps it under the rug or ignores it. And they only want to focus on the Thumbtack. This is where we're going to go.
What it is, right, George, let's just tell you one thing.
My original
a lot of what we say is Roberto. So with you, Jordy.
Hey, hold on, Paul, hold on. You started going off of saying, did it affect this person? Did it affect that person? That's not even what I asked. I asked, you said you're not trying to attack arm wrestlers. You're trying to attack non-arm wrestlers. But
yeah, okay.
I said, how does that grow arm wrestling by showing them not arm wrestling?
Well, I explained this when you cut off kissing.
That's what I said.
Kissing Ryan. Right. So
it went off.
So basically, like, I'm not trying to attract the arm wrestler what we have now. I'm trying to attract non-arm wrestlers. Now, as I said to Jordy, think of a non-arm wrestler. Think outside the box. If there is a young man, 17-year-old, on his computer watching YouTube now, he's a bit of a gamer, he's not a sporty cat guy, and he sees a thumbtack, a pad with thumbtacks, and then he sees Connor Sale or Matt Smith going, which is he going to click on?
Here you go. They're going to click on the Thumbtack match.
And then go try to do something stupid and hurt himself.
However, do y'all remember
that's their problem.
You remember X Arms? How long did that last? How long? How come it's still not going?
Okay. So let's look at it this way. Let's speak about it proper. So they're going to click on the Thumbtack, right? Most people. So then they're going to see arm wrestling, and then they're going to think, oh, well, what's this video? Connor Sale and Matt Smith. So they click on that and they see it and think, fucking hell, that's awesome. But they weren't getting dragged in because they was never going to click that thumbnail. They clicked that one. So there's different sides to all the stories, and like you might go on about XRM or whatever else you bring. But the truth is this: we did 15 unbelievable matches and 16 matches, and the 16th match was a gimmick match, right? Whatever. But that gimmick match, one gimmick match, people that like talk about it as though it's overshadowing such an amazing event, then that's their problem. Because the truth is this: like you're simple if you think that one match can ruin everything, because it can't. Because one match attracts random people who are not wrestlers.
Here, let me speak on this real quick.
And then 15 say other.
Let me speak on this. So again, every match I thought was beautiful. I thought the pay-per-view was beautiful. Here's my question for you. Why didn't you run the pay-per-view and keep it good and then put that match afterwards on like fucking social media or something? And why did you have it a part of the pay-per-view? Because that's where I'm at. I feel like it lowered the pay-per-view of all the hard work that you put in because you had it on top of it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to attract those other people, why did you have it associated with arm wrestling?
Well, right, okay, so we put it on there because we don't have a pay-per-view. We have members, okay, supporting members each month. So
I thought it was a pay-per-view.
No. It was $4.99, and it's a membership. What comes out each month, because we have events every month for that money. So like this month, you've got, if you paid for if you pay $4.99, you're going to have 3 events in next 4 weeks. Like, so we just had one in Manchester.
So
We've got Wales,
it's like
which
kind
is
of a
big
membership
event.
on YouTube then.
Yeah. So no, we don't YouTube. So we could have put it through YouTube, but we wanted to give back to our members who were supporting us. So it's like, if we'd have put it on YouTube for free and we've just had and we asked people to, and we've had people paying to watch these matches, then for me, I like to give value for the money. I want to give back to arm wrestling. I've had a lot from arm wrestling, as Ryan has, throughout time, and I need to give back. And the greatest gift in the world, like if you follow Law of Attraction, is giving back. Like, arm wrestling has saved my life. It got me from fucking the depths of hell. Like, and I'll tell you a story one day, from lying in a coma for 6 weeks, and all I could think about was what I needed to do. And arm wrestling dragged me through it. It's dragged me through times when I've been fucking hearing voices talking to me and all sorts of shit throughout life, man. And we'll talk about wellness another day. But like, you've no idea what arm wrestling's done for me in the days and the dark days it's got me through. Like Ryan, a bit same, and Jordy, he's had dark days too. You know, probably a lot worse than I've ever had. So, and arm wrestling's dragged us through. So we have to give back to arm wrestling. So I feel that if someone's paying $4.99, I'm giving everything back. Now, rightly or wrongly, it might have been better off on YouTube. Yeah. And maybe that's something we could look at in the future. I'm always open to it, because unlike most federations or promotions, we're not behind the door. Like, we'll listen to advice, and if it's better advice than we've got, then we'll listen to it and we'll implement it, because we want to improve. We're not perfect. We're like Mary Poppins. We're practically perfect in every way, but just not perfect. I appreciate that. And we're not going to do everything right, and we're not going to satisfy everybody, and it's just tough shit if we don't. We can only lead the path that we honestly, genuinely believe is the right one. Now, I always talk about darts, right? And darts now is one of like the biggest sports out there, as in regards to something what was in a labour club, a shitty hall, like 20 people watching, right? Now, that sport, Ryan will remember, 20 odd years ago, was absolute dog shit, right? Like, it was a great game, but they're having a beer. They had 10 people clapping in the crowd. But look at it now. The top darters and millionaires, they've still got pot bellies. They've still got big bellies. They're not athletes in that respect, but they're darting for millions of quids, and why? Because they're getting bums on seats. So then big sponsors move in. So I went to watching darts in Dublin a few years ago with my missus, right? And we didn't even watch the darts. We went there for the atmosphere, for the and the beers and the fun and like 6,000 people chanting, all that bullshit. No, why are they keeping a crowd? Why are they all over the world? Dubai, Canada, America, you name it, Vegas, everywhere. They're everywhere. In stadiums, in halls. They've got sponsors. They're on Sky. They're smashing it. But yet, arm wrestling, it's been around all this time, and it's doing nothing. East versus West are not making money. They're paying that much out. They're not making money. King of the Table are not making money. They're at a loss. We're not making money. Of course, we're at a loss. But it's about putting the money into to reach to that level, and that's why we're different, and we have the platforms that we have. We have a website of a platform. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say one thing before I got to jump off. In my opinion, I'm not saying I'm right. Just want to put that out there. I'm not saying I'm right.
No, it's fine, Jordy. Go on.
But I think we as athletes of arm wrestling who love the sport want to see our sport go further. I think where we struggle is the fact that we always trying to be somebody we're not. Why does WWE work? Because they are who they are. Why does slapboxing, who all of a sudden just overlapped us in popularity? Because they are who they are. They don't try to be nobody else. The more we, as these new crop of people, if you take pullers the last 3 to 4 years, they were relatively new. Any puller who came to the sport after COVID tries to make us something that we're not. And it lasts for a minute, but then it comes right back down because we are who we are, but I got to get ready to run. Ryan, go ahead.
You can hang around for a minute, Jody. I got a thought.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And you asked what happened to X-Arm. What happened to X-Arm is everyone watched it for a short period of time. That's why a gimmick works. It's because it's something that draws eyes, but then it goes away. The same thing happened to hardcore matches in the WWE. They're not around anymore, or they're very, very, very seldomly used. Because for a while, people came in and they viewed it. It accomplished what they wanted to do. The thumbtack match, I agree. It brought eyes to the sport. The chances of you having a thumbtack match every time you have an arm wrestling event it would lose its success very, very quickly.
It's zero. Yeah, of course.
I see both sides of the argument for sure. The purists, of course, say never do that again. The promoter wanting to draw more eyes in there, well, it was effective. Obviously, it was effective. The hope is that some of those people will stay when the thumbtacks go away.
And the thumbtacks are away, Ryan, and they might never come out. But the people are building. I mean, you can't ignore that we're building. We're building a fan base, and we're building. I mean, people speak about Iron Gods in the top 3-4 promotions. They're not speaking about us as being bottom of the pile. I mean, you tell me, apart from King of the Table and obviously East versus West, who has much bigger matches than what we have?
It's going to be a very, very hard thing for East versus West or King of the Table to draw new eyes because people don't know what they're buying. If you see something that's flashy, okay, when you have Devin Laird on a card, obviously he moves the needles. He moves the needle because people recognize him from other places. In a sense, they're buying the Devin Laird gimmick, even though he happens to be one of the most talented arm wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
It's the personality, it's the familiarity, it's the being a fan of the person, not necessarily always the arm wrestler, that are drawing all these eyes to the sport. So I get what you're saying. And FYI, watch what happens to slap fighting in the next 2 years. You might see it, eventually go away because it's not like you're going to get an evolution of that sport into something different like the UFC was.
No. And the thing is, we're not trying to be like this super hardcore. We're not going to have a ladder match. Sorry, go on.
I got to go. Sorry to cut you off.
All right, take care. Have a good tournament this weekend.
Yeah,
have a good tournament.
Talk.
Good luck this weekend, and we got a lot to talk about next week.
Paul,
you got one last comment from you, then we got to wrap her up.
Yeah, no problem, Ryan. Well, thank you for having me on. I hope I fought my corner well. Remember, we're not everyone's cup of tea, but I'll guarantee you this: we're here to stay. And the thing is, Ryan, you're a Canadian. There's Commonwealth belts floating round, and lovers or not, I know as a sportsman from multiple sports that at some point you would love to have a Commonwealth belt around your waist.
Who's got it right now?
Currently super heavyweight left arm. It's James Stewart.
James Stewart has expressed some interest in arm wrestling with me.
Well, James Stewart has got Dean Bull. James Stewart, I'll tell you what, Ryan. I'll tell you what. Let's get James Stewart and Ryan and Dean Bull left arm out the way, right? And I'll not even discuss this with Marcus. Me and you will have a chat after that match about you taking on the winner for a Commonwealth Championship at Winter Blast. Possibly. Let's talk about it.
Blast.
And
like that.
Then you can see. In fact, Ryan, even without a match, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to personally golden ticket you, so I'm going to pay for your flight and put you in an hotel for 2 nights to come to Winter Blast to watch our event if I don't have you pull on it. Right? How's that? So you can see firsthand what it's really like. Because Canadians love our way, whether they're you or they're not. I mean, you don't get much straighter than the grip guy. What's he got called again? I always forget his name.
Which guy?
Your Canadian grip guy, strong as a bastard.
Eric
from Ottawa. Eric Rasen.
Yeah.
Right now, when Eric Rasen stops watching arm wrestling on his television and drives 45 minutes to get in the room because he needs to sample the atmosphere, right? That says it all. Because Eric Rasen is a purist of all. He's a purist of the purists. And he came to watch us for the roadiness because we brought something new. And when Eric Rasen says we're going to be the top dogs, we are. And when I fly you in and you see now, Ryan, whether it's a match or whether it's a spectator or whatever, you are going to see what it's really like. And you can make your own decision once you've been there in the room. How's that?
Sounds good to me. I'll see you at Winterblast.
There you go. Well, I shall be in touch, gentlemen. So, Jody, one last thing. I do think the world of you. I don't hate you. We have a bit of fun. It's all banter.
Yeah.
So I do call you shithouse because it does sound better than Chocolate Thunder. We don't dislike you at all. Like, please don't take it that way. Well, a few people might dislike you, but I personally like you, right? And there's no banter. So I do apologise if you got offended by it.
Oh, no, I knew you were playing. It's just the other...
yeah, but you are a shithouse because you sit on the fence. You're worse than that Aussie fella, you. You're worse than him.
Oh, yeah.
And he does sit on fences, that man, I'll tell you. But that's for another day. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thanks for jumping on.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
So long, everybody.